Hello, and welcome to the Journey with Janey podcast. I'm Jane Anderson and I'm your host. I'm actually back in the house after my daily dog walk. I forgot to take the earbuds with me this morning, so I was going to be outside with the cows and the sheep in the background, um, but that wasn't to be. So here we are, and let's dive straight in. Um, Today is a reminder of what Journey with Janey is all about. Most of you who listened to last week's podcast will realise that I attended a friend's funeral, and I just thought it was maybe fitting to kind of give an overview of what Journey with Janey is, what I do, how I can help people, that kind of thing. So the podcast itself is a space for anybody who is navigating grief, change, or one of those big sort of life shifts that leave you feeling like you've lost your path, lost where you're going, that kind of thing, a bit of direction, that kind of thing. And all I want you to know is that you're not alone, you're not broken. Um, Remember, law of polarity, you can switch it. So there we go. So for me, why did I create Journey with Janey? Many of you know the story of why I'm here, and I'm not going to go back over that. But the work and study that I've done over the past 2.5 years, I've walked the road of loss too, and I can resonate with where people are, not knowing where to turn, what to do. So for me, it was like a wham bam, poof. Grief didn't show up in the neat little 5-stage process. It arrived like, I'm going to say, a thunderstorm, which is probably what we could do with at the minute, as everybody's saying we need rain. It was totally unexpected. Not unexpected, but it was a very short space of time, overwhelming and very disorientating. So it wasn't just about the losing my mum and Jonathan. It was about losing parts of me, my identity. I'm still my dad's daughter, but my mum isn't there to be a daughter. I'm no longer a farmer's wife. And that kind of identity left like overnight almost. And well, not almost, it did. Like as soon as these events happened, that was like, oh, well, who am I now? My connection to what my world was no longer there. And probably the hardest part for me was feeling like I had to carry it all, carry it alone. I know I had the support of my family and friends, which was absolutely amazing. They were great, but they were also grieving as well. So it was, how do I find me again? I hope that's making sense, and I don't want this to sound like a really sort of sad kind of podcast. I'm just trying to give you a bit of background so you understand where I'm coming from. I think the hardest part was not knowing, not able to find the help that I needed to take my first steps to being me again. Then I was guided by a friend to mentorship. Many of you know this. I found the guide that I needed, somebody to hold my hand and point me in the right direction to say, do this, go that way. Um, so that was what I needed. And yes, it takes time. And yes, it's a tough road. Um, but the journey I've been on and continue on, um, it's worth every struggle to find the meaning and purpose again in your life. So I think that was kind of where I was at with that one. The world doesn't know how to hold grief or deal with grief. I don't really know how to put it. I found that when I went out or met people for the first time, people didn't know how to react or what to say to me. Um, for me, it feels like death and dying is a taboo subject. And I know I'm talking about death and dying, but grief is all sorts of different things. Um, and I think because all you want to do is let it all out to somebody, um, you may what you at some point you do feel like that. You may actually be at a stage where you just want to go inside yourself and actually just curl up under the duvet and hide. So um, the role of Journey with Janey is me being there for you as your hand holder almost. Um, so allowing you to take those small steps that I took at the start, guiding you and giving you tools to actually start that new chapter in life. So my healing journey, and yeah, like I said before, it is a continuous journey. We're always healing. So when I'm working with people, it touches me, and I actually heal as well as I'm guiding others. So through my journey, I became passionate about helping others to feel seen. I think that's the big thing because you almost feel like you're not there. You know, there's the scenario of people crossing the road because they don't want to talk to you, yeah, or just being there, holding that space for you to be the person you want to be, but struggle to be because you're not sure how other people will react. So I've done a bit of training. I've trained as a grief educator with David Kessler, and I'm a certified coach now with my mentor. So that is how Journey with Janey came about. A safe place where people can talk openly, either to me or within the communities, and share their own experiences. So Journey with Janey, what do we do? I work one-to-one with clients. It's always bespoke because obviously grief is different for each and every person. Compassionate coaching, so that I guide you at the same time as talking through the grief and the loss or whatever the major life transitions may be. Many of you may not know, but I had both my hips replaced the year that I experienced these deaths. So I had major trauma in my life as well, having to learn to walk again, that kind of thing. So it can be the death of a loved one, but it also can be the loss of a relationship, a job, loss of identity, which I mentioned at the start, which was absolutely massive for me, not knowing who I was. And grief is always linked to death. I've said that before, I'm repeating myself, but we can be grieving anything at any time in our life. And, you know, I don't need to actually go through the huge long list of what it is, because if you take a look at yourself, at some point in your life, you will have had grief of some description. I was actually sitting thinking the other day, and one of the things that I was that kind of popped up for me was school. And I was like, how's that? Where's that come from? But that got me thinking school was a bit kind of, um, I wouldn't say I was bullied, but I was a bit of a loner at school. And even though I wanted to be out in the big wide world of work, I actually grieved leaving school. When you know more about what grief is, because you're not you go it's a life transition and you're moving into a different phase of your life. But I did grieve school because that was like a community, it was friendships, it was the support of like teachers that were there all the time, 5 days a week for you. So that might help you get a bit of an understanding. I have no idea. But just remember that grief takes many forms, and it doesn't matter what it is or how you think of it. You might think it's just something really small, but just remember there's no big or small. It's how we see things. So you're one-to-one basis with clients. I do workshops and group sessions, and I also have a community membership program that where people can come together and reflect, process, and support each other. And then that is currently online, and I am making taking steps to be in person in different places. So if anybody has any ideas where they would like me to be, like me to go, like me to attend, just let me know. So for me, from my heart, what I do is more about it's more than just feeling better. It's about making room for what's real, learning to grow so your grief gets smaller. Grief never leaves. We have it for life. And as we grow, the grief gets smaller. And I think ultimately for me, it's rediscovering yourself, your voice, and everything as that we do with Janey is at your pace and how you want to take it. With me carefully holding your hand and guiding you. And just remember, every question is a question. No question is silly. So really, the podcast is an extension of the mission of Journey with Janey. And every episode, I've tried to kind of do a bit of light-hearted, hello, hello, hello. I'm out in the countryside, give a bit of an overview, the sun's shining, get a bit of a smile on your face, try and make you feel better. And I'm hoping I'm achieving that. It might feel like it's a huge, it's like way down the corridor that you can see the light at the end of the tunnel or whatever. And the healing does take time. So the episode is light-hearted. And towards the middle of June, I will be inviting my first guest on to just give a little different take on what's going on in different roles, like what other people can do to help you as well. So I hope this has helped you get a bit more understanding of what Journey with Janey is and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I would love for you to drop a review or simply share the podcast with someone that you think might need to hear what I've said today. You can also visit the Journey with Janey website, which is JWJ.com, to learn more about what I'm actually doing. There's insights and lots of different things in there. I'm also hosting a Zoom tonight. All of the link for the Zoom call is on all of my socials. So that is 6 p.m. tonight, which is the 14th of May. And it would be lovely to see some of you there. So I'm going to leave it at that because I am who I am. You will either resonate with me or not. And if you don't resonate with me and you are struggling or identify with any of the things I've mentioned, find that one person that you can speak to, because talking is good. And I just want to say a huge thank you for being here, because I don't know whether I actually do that in my previous podcasts. And always remember, until next time, take care of yourself, look after yourselves, and always remember there is something inside of you that knows no limits, and it's time to believe in you. Ta-ra for now. Me on the Journey with Janey podcast. Always remember there is something within you that knows no limits. It's time to believe in you. Click the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. I love reading your reviews and comments, so right away. So if you're ready to take those small steps to transform your true self, let's do life together.